Welcome back to Partnerships Unraveled, the podcast where we unravel the mysteries around partnerships and channel on a weekly basis. My name's Alex Whitford, I'm the VP of Revenue here at Channex, and I'm really pleased to welcome our special guest this week, Frank. Frank, how are you doing?
Alex, doing very well. We had a nice drive over here to Utrecht, so all good.
I'd love to get a little bit of an introduction. Obviously, we know each other very well, but for our guests,
yes.
Please introduce yourself, give us a little bit of background about your career.
I'll do that. Frank Aan De Stegge, born and raised in the Netherlands. Since almost 3.5 years, I'm the partner marketing lead for Zoom in Europe. Interestingly, I was the first partner marketing person for Zoom outside of the US. That was a great opportunity for me to get on the train of Zoom, which started to roll, of course, since 2020. And before that, I've been in IT, product marketing, channel marketing for almost 25 years. That's how old I am.
So that's how we know each other from, we were both Zoomies at the same time. We experienced the crazy level of growth that was COVID. I'd love to hear a little bit about, from a partner marketing perspective, obviously we had a lot of inbound demand as a result of COVID. How did that affect your marketing strategy?
Well, we had to think about it every day, right? Because, again, back to the history of Zoom. Zoom got started as a direct company, a lot of online business, direct sales, and then channel came in as a consequence of what happened, right? So it really had an impact on us because we had to redo many of our partner programs, our partner marketing infrastructure, which was really basic, right? But we made it massively more modern, easy accessible. But also I think what happened during the pandemic is that we had to educate our partners much more on the full scope of Zoom, right? There were a lot of issues, right, back in the days, right? Unfortunately, not only caused by Zoom, but also by Zoom was built for the enterprise. Then it hit the consumer and prosumer market tremendously. We dealt with the security situation very well, I think. Our 90-day security plan, which we launched in 2020, was very well received. And I think, our customers, and again, our mission of our company, deliver customer happiness, were always central, right? And our CEO is really monitoring that as a hawk. And that secured for us also in marketing that we could focus on the key use case that users could enjoy of using it by using Zoom. And that also impacted how we funded our strategies, right? It's not all just on events, no, because there were no events, right? We had to really go digital, go outbound, also from a channel perspective, and support our partners with our MDF programs with that.
And so primarily you're using MDF to educate the end users around why Zoom is the right solution through COVID, or are you marketing to partners as to why they should become a partner?
Both, right? It's both, and it's even more. Of course, we had a distribution strategy back in the days, a number of years ago. You came. We overhauled that massively, as you know, but our MDF is really targeted to drive results with our partners, right? So we invest in the individual resellers or agent partners that we have in Europe to drive more leads with them, through them, together, and win more deals together. That's how we're applying those funds to drive tangible outcomes that benefit both of us.
And one of the things we hear, we're always speaking to CMOs and VPs of marketing, and we hear that revenue attribution as part of MDF is obviously critical, that we understand how has the dollar been spent, what was the ROI, how is tracking that ROI? Because we always hear it's really, really challenging, very manual. How's that process for you?
It is, and I think at Zoom we've made some very good enhancements to our traceability back in 2020. Very hard, right? Really manual efforts, but through some system integrations between our deal registration platform and our Salesforce environment. So we're automatically exporting campaign codes now into the deal registration platform. So when a partner is dealing with a lead that's translating into an opportunity, he can select a campaign from a drop-down list based on the quarter or the runtime of the campaign, depending on how we agree on that. And that then is measurable for us. So we can run Salesforce reports now that show us by MDF investment for a particular partner or a group of partners by a country, what has been the return measured on deal registrations and pipeline.
Awesome. And so you've spoken about Zoom traditionally a direct business, then obviously they're pivoted really hard, and I'm hearing lots of amazing things about the way the channel business is really growing. But how has that marketing development program had to change and iterate really quickly to keep up with the progression of channel? Can you talk about how that moved from direct to indirect from a marketing perspective, how you manage that process?
Yeah, so I think that's a big team effort, right? It's not just me as an individual or my team here in Europe doing that. That's a company effort. And we're trying our best every day, right, to stay 100% aligned with sales, the sales strategy, the go-to-market strategy, the route-to-market strategy by region and even by sub-region. And that's how we are looking at that, right? We want to make sure we're investing in the right things, and the right things are tools, infrastructure, content. We already talked about the MDF program. Also, we're talking about people, right? About enabling and ensuring that we see adoption of our tools, our infrastructure, our programs. We're talking about rewards programs, right? So we really, I think we're taking a much wider perspective. Is 100% perfect? I doubt it, right? It's because we still are learning, adopting, and improving how we enable our partners, how we give them content, programs, tools, rewards, and make them very satisfied to partner with Zoom.
And what would you describe as the sort of key challenge for going from a purely direct model and then having to rapidly accelerate into a really fast indirect model that's being wildly successful today? How do you manage that transition? What's the key problem?
Well, from a marketing perspective, I think clearly it's getting to scale, right? Because we had thousands of partners worldwide. And again, if I turn it into Europe, also for number figures, right? So how do you get to scale, right? So from that perspective, we invested in automation where we could. I think one of the key things that we implemented almost 2 years ago is a marketing automation platform for our partners, right? That really offers everything. It is a fully automated marketing platform, including email, including social media marketing and video marketing. We have an asset library with all, let's say, lifestyle images that our partners want to embed on their website. It has co-logo capabilities for data sheets, customizations, translation, right, in 100 different languages. So we could tackle that scale problem because of that. And we've really seen massive results. In less than 2 years, we are at more than already 6,000 individuals logging on to it. This year alone, around 9,000 downloads, right, of content pieces individually. That are pitch decks, data sheets, images, integrated campaigns, right? So I think that's how we got to scale, by automating that, by keeping content really fresh on a monthly basis, not every quarter, because you and me, we've seen examples where, and again, I know that's one of your key topics, the adoption of partner portals. You can put it there, but if it's irrelevant, they will not come, right? They will not come automatically. And I think we're doing, and of course, a lot of communication through our partner newsletters, one through our channel account manager in region, enablement sessions through webinars. So we're touching our partners more holistically than just, it's on the partner portal, go there. That doesn't work, right? So we're really taking a multi-faceted approach in reaching our channel partners, making sure that they can find the information and then use the information, because we have a partner marketing concierge. That's a person, a physical person, not an AI person, a real person who's there as a coach, right? So we're really helping our partners to adopt it, embrace it, and get to results quickly.
And so the number one problem in your mind from a marketing perspective to go from direct to indirect is, how do you generate scale?
Scale and also processes, right? Have the right processes in place that it's very easy for partners to do business with Zoom, right? Not just on the sales side, but also on the marketing side, to request MDF, to claim MDF, to make that very easy. And again, also back to our mantra, Zoom should be easy, right? We want to make it easy.
And so then you're tackling that pain with automation and bringing automation and people together, and then you've got that cohesive movement, and then you're leveraging MDF to really drive performance. Sounds excellent.
Correct. For and again, as part of our partner program, we are, of course, we have levels, right? We are currently moving into a new program that launches in February of next year. We've already trained a lot of our partners on what's coming. But of course, we have different partner types, right? And partner levels, depending on the investment that the partner is doing in Zoom, from a knowledge perspective, also from a business perspective. and that will unlock different rewards at different levels. So that's also how we're stimulating our partners to be at their best, right? Be the best partner they can be for Zoom, and then we will be hand in hand with them to support them in their growth.
Awesome. And then my experience at Zoom, right, I was there during COVID and we were experiencing such monumental growth at the time, which was exhilarating to be a part of. But educate me, how's the transition post-Zoom been? What has that meant for your channel strategy, your marketing strategy? How have you changed?
Well, I think as a company, we changed, of course, from a technology perspective, right? We introduced clearly when we saw, well, it's great to have excellent video meetings, but we saw the opportunity, right, to bring that frictionless communication into different segments like telephony, Zoom Contact Center that we introduced 18 months ago. We have Zoom Events, that's a professional events platform for running perfect hybrid events. Workforce management is part of Contact Center. We acquired WorkVivo April of this year, March. That's an employee engagement platform where it's all about communication, right? And we want to be that communications platform. And that caused a lot of change, right? Also for the marketing department, because now we need to educate our complete channel. And I know you recall that, right? Zoom, you do more than meetings. Oh yeah, and that's a very important pillar for us, of course, to keep educating our channel. What are the other opportunities for them to engage with us, to expand their practice, to build in more stickiness, right, for their business, unlock more consulting and education and services opportunities for them, so they can also be a stronger partner for themselves, but also for us, of course.
And when you're going through, and I remember experiencing this, right? My background's very video orientated. Zoom was a very logical next step. And then having to go back to partners that I've spoken to for years and years and suddenly go, hey, we need to talk about telephony, we need to talk about unified communications, contact center. Suddenly it was like, oh, how do we have these conversations?
Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge around doing that from a marketing perspective, that re-education, almost that rebranding from a product perspective? How do you handle that?
Yeah, again, so it's difficult and it's not difficult. It's difficult for, and again, I respect all of our partners, right? All of our partners who've invested in Zoom, they're important to us. And in the future, we'll see different types of partners for us, right? We'll see partners who are very strong in AV. And that's still a necessity, right? Because we need to modernize and democratize the meeting rooms inside offices with modern infrastructure and modern platforms. Some of these partners can add on adjacencies, right? They have the room, they have the vision themselves, right? To grow into different parts of unified communication and add telephony, because that's a very different ballgame. It's not the same ballgame. So it may seem easy, but it's not that easy, right? It's a different skill set. You need to train different people, maybe hire different people, build a new practice with services. And it's the same with contact center. It is an adjacency. So telephony and contact center are very close to each other. But from an AV perspective, we have a traditional.
It's a long way away.
It's a long way away. So you need to be able to and willing to invest in that. The rewards will be there, but it will take perhaps a bit longer than a traditional telephony reseller or integrator who's been doing that for 15 years. Right? That makes sense. So it can be hard for the traditional AV partner who maybe does not have the time or the current priority to do that. Well, that's fine. We need those partners too, right? But across the whole gamma, for us it's been challenging to also prove ourselves to some of these UCaaS and CCaaS partners who've been reselling other brands for years and implementing those. So why should I take up Zoom? Why does it make sense for me? Is it more profitable? Is it easier? Can I unlock more business through that? And that's what we need to prove. Also from a marketing perspective of how can we be even a better partner for them in driving more demand, more leads, more business outcomes. So I think that's a joined up effort between the sales teams and marketing to show all these different vectors, right? And make partners say, oh, that makes a lot of sense, right? I need to talk more to Zoom. I need to figure out how we can embed you. And I think we're seeing that more and more. So I think we're really happy with the progress we're making.
That's great to hear. And one of the things we often talk about here on the podcast is if you want to go fast, go direct. But if you want to go far, go channel. Yeah. And one of the things that we're very obsessed with is how marketing can play a role in agility within the channel. So when you're doing that hard pivot, how are you marketing and how are you ensuring that you can help support the sales infrastructure, the technology infrastructure to speed up? Because building channels can take a very, very long time.
It does. Again, so I think multi-level approach, right? We have, of course, a very strong distribution channel. That's important because they are a multiplier as well from a communications perspective towards existing resellers, but also prospect partners for us. And then again, there's of course this traditional pyramid, right, of focus partners, strategic alliance partners that we are also communicating to, because they are, of course, in a number of cases, they are this portfolio partner for us. They can do everything, right? They can do and the traditional meeting stuff, webinars, Zoom events, but also they have the capacity to do some phone and Zoom contact center. So they can be a 360 partner for us. And they require different approaches, right? As you know. But that's how we're trying to, of course, like I said, we are very grateful for every partner that wants to partner with Zoom. Even if they do maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 transactions a year. That's great. But also, of course, we want to look at the key partners who can do a large volume of transactions. So across the different gamut, we have different approaches to reaching them and working with them. One is, of course, more hands-on, where there is a dedicated channel account manager, versus reaching the long tail, where we have distribution primarily, right, to make sure that we also can reach these partners and keep them excited about what Zoom can do for them.
Awesome. And then looking ahead to 2024, what are your key marketing priorities? Where can you see the sort of big wins coming from?
Yeah, so I think it's a great question. You always ask great questions.
I learn from the best.
Yeah, thank you. No, but 2024, for us, it will be very critical to keep educating the channel on that Zoom is much more than what they were used to see Zoom do in 2020. We're a different organization with a different portfolio, a different set of capabilities that they can take to market, build their services practice around, go to market with, satisfy customers, because that old premise of Zoom is delightfully simple from an end user perspective is fantastic. We are able, of course, now to really go to market around the three different areas. That's employee collaboration and communication. That's employee experience through the WorkVivo platform that we have as part of our portfolio, and customer experience. So it's basically offering a total customer experience platform and educating our channel on that from an enablement perspective, technology knowledge perspective purely, versus how do you take that to market most effectively? How can you drive the quickest results, leveraging our Zoom partner demand center that I just tapped on earlier. I think that will be very important from a marketing perspective to make sure that the partners can take the Zoom portfolio to market as successful as possible and grow each other's share of wallets, right? That's our goal.
And we're hearing from Microsoft and Cisco, who have significant plays in the unified communication space as well, that they are doubling down and going all in on SMB for 2024. How does that mirror Zoom's plan? Is SMB something that you guys are focused on, and how are you targeting that from a marketing perspective?
Yeah, great question. Again, SMB already has been a very important pillar for Zoom for taking our solutions to market. Like I said, you were there, right, when we prepared the expansion of our distribution strategy, and we see a lot of needs and capabilities that our channel partners can fulfill in that space. And in some markets, it could even mean Zoom will go even more on channel than direct in the future. I cannot predict the future, unfortunately, but from a marketing perspective, like I said, we will be heavily working with our distribution channel to build very specific campaigns, right, that are targeted at SMB customers, because they don't have the same needs, right, as a large enterprise organization. So I think our messaging, our positioning, our packaging, right, of course, it needs to be tailored. So one of the things that we're doing, and again, it's not like brand new, nobody has done it before, but we want to do that with some of our alliance partners, where we are building very specific packages, right, that a 10 people SMB organization can really quickly deploy and get up to speed with, like in days, right, and not months. No, they don't have the time. It needs to be working, right? Could be either as a service or could be, of course, still deployed locally with hardware for meeting rooms, right? In case such a partner doesn't need a qualitative meeting room. So I think, we're going to see a multiple area of investments for Zoom in this space to also expand our success in the SMB space.
So SMB is still absolutely critical for Zoom. Obviously,
100%.
Zoom's done traditionally amazing, obviously from the consumer space up and also from the enterprise space down.
Yeah, because one quick addition, because in some markets, like SMB space could be like 30 to 40% of the market, total addressable market, right? So it's not something we take as a say that easily. We take it very seriously because there's a lot of customers who need professional communication, collaboration, and of course not at the scale of a large enterprise, but still they need it, right? So and we believe we are the best platform for that.
Yeah, we're hearing lots in terms of the unified communication space that SMB really is the next growth lever, right? Mm-hmm. Capturing that market, modernizing that market, and it sounds like you're working together to build specific commercial packages, build specific marketing programs, and leveraging distribution to build that into a sort of cohesive motion.
Yeah, and it could be an engine, right? Because SMBs, right now they're an SMB. In 2-3 years' time, they could be a large commercial account or maybe an enterprise account even. We see a lot of growth also from the startup space. And these startups, they're growing very fast. So we're tying multiple areas together to really servicing that market very well in the near future.
So that's really interesting. We sometimes internally call that the HubSpot model. HubSpot have a VC-backed model where they give you a huge discount if you buy HubSpot and you've been backed by certain VCs. But obviously the idea is, hey, that 10-person business is going to be a 1,000-person business in 4 years' time, a much more lucrative account. And so what you're saying there is not only is SMB valuable, but you're also looking for the next rising stars potentially in some of those accounts.
Correct. And I think our company is very well connected into that space, right, worldwide, but also here in region. We are already doing some specific initiatives around startups in EMEA, which will be not only SMBs, but I think they will quickly rise through that into larger size organizations. And that's where we can be their partner of choice as well, right, through our channel. Right? We see the channel still as fundamental to that.
The buzzword that we're hearing time and time again at the moment is AI. Now, I'm a big Zoom user, even once I left. Obviously, AI has been embedded into the Zoom tooling. Are you seeing AI play any impact on how you go to market as well?
So I think for what we're marketing is the capability, right? And again, it is a big priority for, since we launched AI Companion in the middle of this year. What we are hearing back from our partners and our customers, they love it, right? I'm using like meeting summary every day, right? Getting it into my, don't even need to tweak it, man. It's like 90%. It is correct. Okay, sometimes just change a few words before I send it off to the wider group. No, we see that AI it needs to be very meaningful, right? Contextual AI. That's what I'm doing. I think that's what we're doing as Zoom. It's not because AI is so big. Mention a few words. The word security. What do you mean? Well, if we say AI, we mean AI in the context of collaboration and communication, meeting summaries, email compose, chat summaries. In the near future, also voice summaries. So if you use Zoom Phone, you can have a setting that it will generate a summary that you will get as an SMS that you can then forward. Right. So I think it's really contextual, meaningful, and it should free up people's time, right? Make people more productive. Because we've seen research that we talked about it last week in London with 60 of our partners present. Like mundane tasks can take up to 62% of people's time on the day. So let's say you have a meeting. Let me write some meeting minutes. Could take 8 to 10 minutes, right? Before you're ready. What if you have 8 meetings a day? 64 minutes of time that should be spent on different stuff. And if you can cut that down to 2 minutes by reviewing an AI summary, you save 6 minutes times 6, half an hour back. So all these concrete things is what AI can do in the context of communication, collaboration. So next year we see a big move into that space enabled by the Zoom portfolio.
And do you feel that AI is going to play any role in terms of your marketing strategy?
So again, back to that partner demand center that we have. We introduced that at our Zoomtopia event. We have a new capability. It's called Edit AI and Create AI. So that's embedded into our marketing platform. Partners can consume that. They can create AI. They can create content from scratch just by making sure they provide some context parameters. What's the tone of voice? What's the segment you want to reach? What is your company's specific persona that you want to address, right? That's great. We just did a demo this morning with one of our partners. Wow. It will save them time, right? Again, many of our partners use external marketing agencies still. 2 hours for an email. £160, right? $160, 200 euros, 150 euros. But if you can cut that into 10 minutes. So I think we're really seeing those capabilities that we've embedded, edit AI and create AI. You can create AI from scratch or edit existing content. It will save our partners a lot of time. So that will help, again, automate, not even for us, but for our partners when they want to take the Zoom messaging and proposition to market. So yeah, we're expecting a lot from AI in a contextual, meaningful way.
Excellent. So what we're seeing there is scale's really important to you. SMB is going to be an enormous focus,
Yep.
and potentially AI, not just from a product perspective, but AI can play a generative role to help customize and create content, driving even more scale.
Absolutely, 100%. So yeah, we're really excited for the future. I think it looks bright again.
Amazing. Well, Frank, it's been a real pleasure. The way we always finish our guest podcast is we'd love a recommendation for who you think we should have on next.
Oh, yes. I know we talked about this before, right? So yeah, we know this. Yeah, so I think I have a great guest in mind. His name is Yassine Kerban. He's my old colleague from Nutanix. He's the VP of Marketing EMEA for Nutanix. So I think he will be a great guest for you to have a conversation with.
Awesome. Well, Yassine will be coming your way and hopefully bringing you to a podcast studio soon. See you next week.